Number 5.
This is our official call to order for our May 13th, 2025 meeting of mayor and selectmen.
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we praise you and thank you for your grace and your mercy. We thank you for giving us a spirit of service, and specifically these elected officials and outstanding city employees who serve the city day in and day out and add to the enjoyment of life in the city. Pray for your direction now, discernment as the items of the agenda are considered. Pray that each one will be dealt with in a way that continues to advance the livability of the city and the best interests of the city. And we continue, sir, of course, to give you all of the praise, glory, and honor. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Entertain a motion to adopt and approve the agenda as printed.
So moved.
Second. Moved properly second. Discussion. Being none, all in favor by sign of vote aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Before we entertain the whole business portion, I would like to give a personal congrats, public congrats to our own municipal clerk, Lois Dawes, as she got her certification for municipal clerks. Today, I got an email today, and this is an accolade that comes from the International Institute of Municipal Clerks. It's a pretty big deal, and I just wanted to publicly congratulate her and thank her for her hard work. Is there any old business to claim my attention? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved properly second. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 5, you have in your packets, as we discussed last night, a letter of recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission. It is in reference to a major conditional use change for an applicant, Mr. Jimmy Martin, address 1076 North Isham Avenue. This gentleman has gone before the Planning and Zoning Commission. He is proposing to build a set of duplexes, but the property that he wants to build on is not zoned property, which was prompted him to go before the Planning and Zoning Commission and bring us to the table to consider this major conditional use. So as I understand it, we have to meet 7 specific criteria, and they have to be voted on separately. And so at this time, so the first criteria is, it says that the proposed use or development of the land will not materially endanger the public health or safety. I don't think that it will, and I'm under the assumption we don't have anybody here from the Planning and Zoning Commission. So I'm under the assumption that, they tried this request against all 7 of these criteria. Again, I'm under the assumption that, he satisfied all of these standards. Would that be correct assessment? Attorney?
I think it's a fair one, Mr. Mayor. Certainly would be better if you had that stated affirmatively, but it appears that they recommended approval, so it's probably safe to assume that they did find all 7 of those.
In light of what the attorney said in the application of common sense, the first criteria is that the proposed use and development of the land will not materially endanger the public health or safety. What do I hear?
Second.
Okay, so we're clear on the motion. Motion
It does not.
does not violate that first standard. Yes. There's a motion and a second on the table. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Criteria 2 says that the proposed use is reasonably necessary for the public health or general welfare, such as by enhancing the successful operation of the surrounding area and its basic community functions, or by providing an essential service to the community or region. I'll say to that, I know that we have a housing shortage, and if he's erecting some duplexes, I think that lends to the need that we have as far as our housing situation. But what do I hear from the board?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that the proposed use is reasonably necessary for public and health and general welfare enhancement, successful operation of the surrounding area.
Second.
Move to proper second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Criteria 3, that the proposed use or development of the land will not substantially injure the value of adjoining or abutting property.
The motion that this, property would not injure the value of the adjoining property or budding property.
Second.
Move to proper second, any discussion? The only discussion that I would have is, these are duplexes, and if my memory is correct, we already have duplexes in that general vicinity, so, I don't think that it would adversely affect the value of anybody's property when erecting, a new structure for the purposes of a duplex apartment.
Yeah.
Any more discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Criteria 4, that the proposed use or development of the land will be in harmony with the scale, bulk, coverage, density, and character of the area or neighborhood in which it is located. I'll just interject the last statement that I just made.
Right. Mr. Mayor, I motion that the proposed use of development of the land will be in harmony with the scale, bulk, coverage, density, and the character of the area, neighborhood in which is located.
Second.
Motion properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, that the proposed use or development of the land will generally conform with comprehensive plan and other official plans adopted by the city. I do think that the current, comprehensive plan that we have is adopted does one section of it speaks to the, development of housing, is that right? Well, I think I'm correct in that. So I would assume that condition 5 is satisfied also. What says the board?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that the proposed use or development of the land will generally conform to comprehensive plans and other official plans adopted by the city.
Second.
Motion properly second, any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Criteria 6, that the proposed use is appropriately located with respect to transportation facilities, water supply, fire, and police protection, waste disposal, and similar facilities. I think that was self-explanatory. What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that the proposed use is appropriately located with respect to transportation facilities, water supply, fire, police protection, and waste disposal, and similar facilities.
Second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And lastly, criteria 7, that the proposed use will not cause undue traffic congestion or create a traffic hazard.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that the proposed use will not cause undue traffic congestion or create a traffic hazard.
Second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do we have contact on Mr. Morris? Or just planning his own issue?
Mr. Attorney, do we need a motion now to grant the major conditions?
All of them have been found, so I think it's just a motion to entertain a motion. All of them have been found. Then wrap this up and then let them know that the board is granted.
With that being said, I entertain a motion to accept the major conditional use as presented by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Move properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. I guess we just notify the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Because there's some other things he has to do, so make them aware, make him aware that he has to comply with all of the other things that are requirements.
Madam Clerk, you see that? Agenda item 6, we have Mr. Trey Hamby with the Golden Triangle Plan Development District here, asking the board to approve invoices for the East Half Mile Road project.
Well, yes, we have, the East Half Mile Road project, we have our first 2 invoices, that grant, that's the board for approval. Those invoices, so I can process it.
And just for full transparency, will you let us know what those amounts are again?
Yes, the engineering invoice is for, the preliminary plan space, to get all that stuff done, it's $15,000. And then, an invoice from Golden Triangle for administrative services for the application preparation, all that stuff, $5,000.
Okay, so 15,000 to the engineering firm on record, which is Neil Shaker, and then 5,000 to Golden Triangle Plan Development. That's correct.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the invoice for Neil Schaefer for the engineering work for the East Half Mile project for $15,000.
Second.
Do we need to do 2 separate motions?
No, I guess it's just.
Oh, and I was 5,000 for the, y'all just get y'all. I'll do 2 motions, but we'll do 5,000 for the Golden Triangle Planning and Development.
So there's a motion and a second. Who seconded? Any discussion? And just for clarity, information purposes for the public, this is a paving project on East Half Mile, the road that runs in front of Navistar. And these funds have already been approved, both of which were grant funded, that'd be accurate. And so we have to, as an administration, still approve all expenditures that flow through this project. This is not a general fund extraction. This is just approving funds that are already sitting to fund this paving project. Any more discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 7, as we discussed last night, Mr. Trey Hamby is asking for board approval for the upcoming CDBG application. We had lengthy discussion last night of what all this is pertaining to. Mr. Jones, would you come with a recommendation tonight? Okay. Can you take the podium and enlighten the board?
Did you have to go through your storage sheet? Okay. And, anyway, here's the check for the cost commission. I recommend that you approve.
Can you pull that closer to you? We can't hear you.
At any rate, he'll take over the only engineering proposal, and I recommend that you accept it.
I'm trying to make sure we talk about the same thing,
I hope so.
because, I think you were supposed to bring us a dollar amount, which level we're gonna participate in. We had to let Mr. Hamby know tonight, is that right, Mr. Hamby?
Right.
What dollar amount we're gonna commit to, so that, he can-
Well, we can commit, we got the money to do the temporary structure, do pretty much what we want. But, in Train's case, you have a minimal, platform that we should do.
Yes, sir, it'll be part of that storage sheet that I handed out last
Right,
night.
that's what I've just, storage sheet.
That's in there.
Yeah, you have the storage sheet in the back, and it shows the bare minimum, $750,000. We could do that. Or we won't up it up, we can go up that.
You said 150,000,
700.
700,000.
Mr. Jones, you said 750,000.
See,
Are we committed to the match or the?
Yeah, we would be, my assumption is that we would be committed to what max level we wanted to.
That's right, but DEP of the grant fund, DEP 750 or 288.
Okay, so option one is what would be your recommendation.
That would give us the lowest amount.
Maybe a little better, say 400,000.
I think you could move on.
Oh, so option two is what you're suggesting, which gives us 31 points, is that just to make sure?
Correct.
We get everybody.
Okay, so the recommendation from the CAO is that we commit, the option two, for lack of a better phrase, which is a $400,000 commitment. Now, these funds would essentially come out of, our water and sewer budget, would that be correct?
Yes.
And you double check that our budget can support that in the event that we're awarded this grant? What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion that we accept, CAO recommendation.
The $400,000 pledge. This doesn't guarantee us the grant. It just gives, I guess, lets Mr. Hammond know how he needs to structure our application to send up for consideration.
This is a subset of what we put forward in the application.
was you want to, in the perfect world, you want to get this number into the mid-300s. The perfect world.
You look at the budget. This is not the whole thing.
Trey, did you say that in the perfect world, you want to get that 202 number up into the mid-300s to be considered?
Yeah.
And so,
To be competitive, I did
So your assessment of us, because us giving the 400,000 commitment only gives us 31 points out of the total 100.
That's correct.
And we're banking on all these unanswered category scoring that we don't have control over. It's somebody else that's determining the need and the other items.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's correct.
I think you got 325 points outside the other fiscal that are matching funds for the low modern benefit need category.
We will get some money out of the determination of need, but that's a subjective number, that's not a definite one.
And where we are now, in your opinion, what we're pledging now, what is the likelihood that we'll get to that mid 300 mark that you were speaking of?
It'll be
Close?
It'll be close. It'll be close. I mean, like I said, I can't, with the determination of need being subjective, I can't. The only numbers that I show on that sheet are the numbers that I know will be. And that's the reason, like I said, that's the reason I broke out the matching funds to show you how that works as far as definite points that you will get based off of those numbers. Because the numbers that are on that sheet are numbers that we have direct control of. The other numbers we do not.
That's it, I'm comfortable with 2, 400,000. I want to go to 3, for another $100,000. We're looking at 15-point jump. That's 31 reports. You're getting a lot of money back. Compared to the other categories, where you just get 12, 288, 400. You get 19 points. 405. Also, 500,000. One thing I don't tell you.
All right, that's the only point that I want to make. Double sure that we're not putting any undue stress on our current budgets and our current funds. Because we also have an option to say, Trey, we don't want to play this year. We'll look at it again next year, right?
That is correct.
So we do have that option, but we're not forced to absolutely have to make a decision. So I don't want to get this one wrong. If we feel like the funds are there, which I'm taking your word on that you're pretty confident, then that's what we'll let this motion go ahead for 3.
Mayor, with what we have on hand, and which is not only financial statement of water and sewer, and looking at where we're tracking better than expected surplus for this year, understanding we still got a couple more months left to add to this. The trend we're going now, I think we can support the 500 based on Mr. Jones' recommendation.
There is
The motion was support, and that's yeah.
Did that need a second?
Did we have to get a second?
Is there a second to the motion for 400? I don't see it. Okay, well, that dies the last
You may
one.
make a motion about it.
I motion that we make a pledge for 500,000.
I second.
Move properly second that we commit 500,000 matching funds for this endeavor. Any discussion?
And Mr. Hamby's gonna guarantee us getting the money.
Yeah. Put that in the motion.
I brought Andy.
He said.
Any more discussion? All in favor by saying voting aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Trey. Randy, I think number 8 is yours as well. Number 8, agenda item 8 is asking for board approval. A letter from Atwell and Gents, and it is relative to annual testing of our substation. We got three of them. We have a recommendation from Matt Williams that we use a company called Unitas, or Utility Maintenance Specialist, for the services that we need. And it's at a cost. Well, I'll let you elaborate on the cost. Did you at the top of Jeff Adler that you read?
You got it, right? Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
So, maybe looking for Jeff? Don't get this.
No.
Hello, Jeff? Y'all get this?
Roy, can you help right here with this?
Yeah. Right now, Jeff.
Put on speaker, Roy.
One more time, get you on the mic here.
The mic's hot.
We got to do that, trying to get you on the PA. We'll change the battery in this microphone.
Test.
Got the battery, Jane? Y'all hear that?
Yeah, something. Can you tell him that the primary question that we had was around the rate? Give a little explanation of how we can charge.
Okay, you're coming in now.
Can you hear us, Mr. Atwell?
Randy, you may have to repeat questions. It's a little muffled.
Mayor just wanted to know if you could hear us.
I can hear you fine. I not hear him very well. I can tell you speak. That's about it.
Can you relay to him that our primary question is around the rate? Can you explain the rate?
Yeah, the primary question is around the rate. I think the discussion you and I had cleared that up a little bit.
Go ahead, Mr. Atwell. What you say?
I said I could describe what we're doing in the maintenance inspections if that's helpful for the board and the mayor.
Sure. So I think the confusion came around the wording. It says first year 2025 inspection per each, and in parentheses it says one total, and then you have a rate of $25,159.50. And then the second line says second year 2026 inspection per each, and again in parentheses one total, and then the dollar amount is $46,309.50. And I think that's where.
Okay. So we do different inspections each year. Both of the substations will get an inspection each year. But on the 2025 year, we're not doing any electrical testing. the manufacturers, like on vacuum circuit breakers, they only require electrical testing every other year. And so we do those on the second year, 2026 year. The same thing with transformers. We do those every 5 years. And so we'll be doing electrical testing of the West Point District Station in 2026. That'll be 5 years. And we'll also be doing testing of the Southwest Point transformers. They'll actually be 5 years in 2026 as well. So that's why the 2026 is a good bit more in that year. They're with the electrical testing. Then we won't do the transformers again until 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And we'll not do the vacuum circuit breakers again, electrical testing in 2028. So there's some activities that are done every year, some activities are done every year, and some are done every 5 years. So that's why every year will be a little different. And these are all, according to both NETA and the manufacturer's recommendations to do this maintenance. Doing the regular maintenance will extend the life of all these assets, and they are gas expensive. It takes a long time to keep them a long time. So we want these to last as long as we possibly can make them last.
I understand. And so your recommendation is for utility maintenance specialist to be granted the contract for this?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Any questions from the board? Everybody clear?
The amounts that were based on each, do we know how many occurrences we have in 2025 year and how many occurrences in 2026 year?
The question, Jeff, is how many occurrences will we have? We see what the pricing is for each respective inspection. How many of those should we expect each year?
There'll be an annual inspection in 2025, and there'll be one annual inspection in 2026. So the numbers you see for 2025 and 2026 respectively are the total cost for those annual inspections. They'll be here once a year, and then routine maintenance. So they do other things. If we have something break, like the cable failure, the distance station, has nothing to do with this. As far as inspections, the price you see is what it is. So they'll come. It typically takes them a full week to do the annual inspection. Sometimes a week and a half, depending on how many people we bring.
Okay. Is everybody clear on this?
So these are the totals for the testing for everything, and that part each is for the year.
Based on this.
Okay, I'm good with this, Mayor.
Mr. Atwell, we really do appreciate your time, sir.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great day.
You as well.
Again, item 8 and 99 are tied together, 9 should be 8, 8 should be 9. So I don't know if we'll vote on them separate.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Actually, it's been better ordered, had item number 9 and number 8, and number 8 and number 9. First thing is this letter of recommendation to accept the bids, and then, to approve the annual substation testing with UMS.
Let's take agenda item 9 first, and then motion to approve item 9, just to approve a letter of recommendation from Atwell and Jen.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to accept the letter of recommendation from Atwell and Jen to secure the UMS inspection services for all substations.
Second.
Motion second on the table, any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? So ordered. And now number 8, please. This is actually accepting the proposal from utility maintenance specialist.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the proposed cost of the annual inspections for 2025 and 2026 and the annual substation testing and maintenance services.
Second.
Motion proper second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Agenda item 10, we're asking for board approval of a resolution to set a public hearing for proposed zoning ordinance amendments and provide reference for public access prior to the hearing. have, the great Mr. Joe Max Higgins with us tonight. Mr. Joe Max, will you come to the podium and enlighten us on?
I'm gonna ask Randy to need to be my man, a part of it, if I hold this one. And then I'll take this one up, and then I'll take this one. We're working with a project, you're on EDD, so you know, Mayor has set it on
Yes,
a
sir.
to EDD. This project is shown in yellow and orange is the problem. We're working a project, that will take all this problem. And we did not know until we got deep into it, that some of it is in the city limits. Okay, so I'm gonna set this down right here. About 91 acres here. This is what we call Mama Williams' property. The open condos over here. This property here, about 91 acres, is in the city limits, and it's owned, I think, Richard, on agricultural. And we want to zone that to industrial, and we want to allow electrical substation generation facilities to go with it. This is for a data center that we're working with. They have the site under option. We originally, Mr. Bynum, if you'll remember, we gave them a 90-day option
Right.
to do their due diligence. In their due diligence, the zoning came up and some cultural resources issues have come up. They're working on the cultural resources. It's our job to work on the zoning. They asked for an extension to get this done. The EDD granted them an extension until 14 days following the rezone and the archaeological stuff being resolved. Or June 30th, whichever is our, I just want to say June 30th. So what we're here tonight to ask y'all to do is to hold a public hearing to consider the rezone. And do that on, I think, June 10th, Mr. Richard, it's in the document. That should be your next mayor, that should be your next meeting. Is that right? Yeah, to hold a public hearing. And assuming that everything goes well and the rezone happens, then we've done our obligation within that 90 days, plus the extension. Then the 9's on them on the cultural. We've had a call with them today, they've sent us some stuff. I haven't even got to look at it, updates on that, but I think we've got some work to do to help them tomorrow. If that happens, there is a hard stop that they have to write checks. They have escrowed $25,000 with the EDD and $25,000 on the land that we've got under option with Chris Pace's law firm. Neither one of us are holding it, showing their good faith. And this next step is big checks. That does not mean that the project's going to happen, but what that means is if they write those checks and it's over $1 billion, then they are serious. And we are cautiously optimistic. You just never know. But we think the project's got legs. We've been working with them. One of the guys used to be affiliated with Amazon and helped put that together down in Madison in the early days, and knew about West Point because if y'all will remember, we competed for the Amazon project. That's the one that we had a site here, site to start with. And he said, I remember that site. And I said, well, we don't have that site anymore. We traded with the Lidweiler and Cox property, if y'all will remember where that was going to go. We traded that with Orvis for this land, options on this land. Some of it the EDD owns, some of it we've got under option to transact wherever we need to transact it when we do it. But we need you to rezone it, set a public hearing, do that, do what steps it's got to be public. Brandon, you know where, what, when, and how. To do that, and then we'll be back before you on the 10th, and hopefully we'll get it rezoned and answer any questions. And if we need to answer questions between now and then, we can do that.
All right, so agenda item 10, I'm assuming this is just us setting a public hearing for June 10th, and to make the reference material accessible to the public. Is that what needs to happen right now?
I think there's 2 orders, is that right? I think you've got 2 orders.
Is everybody clear on
Yes, sir.
what the request is?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we advertise for a public hearing to be held on June 10th to discuss rezoning of the property that has been stated, but maps.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second, and I probably should have asked this question before I entertained the motion. Mr. Attorney, you have laid your eyes on all this?
I haven't seen all. At this point, Mr. Mayor, of course, it's a request for a public hearing, so there's a lot more to hear. It's just an initial step at this point, so there's no good reason not to at least go with that one.
There's a motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor, by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposers? Motion carries. Okay, so I always ask who's gonna drive it, so you gonna get with Mr. Lewis to make sure we got all pertinent paperwork where it's supposed to be, time and manner.
Yes, sir. I think Chris Pace would have time.
I think Pace has asked what attorney, or what newspaper and all that. I think I think he's raised his hand to be responsible for getting it in the newspaper. But as far as the documents or anything y'all need at City Hall, or somebody's got comments or wants to come in, we'll work with Randy's office and your office, Mayor, to make sure y'all got everything you need on your end. I might point out, just so everybody knows, when we came over and met last week, we were talking, and your future land use plan shows this area industrial. Okay, so it's consistent with your future land use plan, and the other thing is it's right on Yokohama Boulevard with big water, with big sewer, and it's a good spot. So whether this project happens or not, we asked ourselves internally, we said, well, it still needs to be zoned industrial because we think that's the best use for the city, for the county, for the area, for it anyway. And hopefully this project will happen, but if not, the rezone, I think is something that we would all want to have.
Right.
And I know it still remains to be seen whether we'll see the project to fruition or not. But can you speak to what kind of attracted this bunch? I know you made some statements about solar project and our new substation. Would you say that those are contributing factors to get to where we are today?
Oh, yeah, I think, Mayor, that big subdivision, I know it's a monstrosity. It's out there north of town behind the livestock sale barn. That is United States government critical resource, critical property. That substation is the heartbeat of the city. And these things use a lot of power. And so when they start looking, they look for power lines, they look for available land, they look for gas lines, because sometimes they're going to have natural gas as a power backup for part of their load. But West Point, from an electrical standpoint, is on the map because of that big substation. No doubt about it.
Well, I strategically asked that question because we get beat up a lot. Like, what are they doing? There's no rhyme to your reason. You're spending money just doing this. So I strategically asked that question. I appreciate you entertaining.
Y'all remember, and Mississippi is called the Smithfield tornado, and in Alabama people call it the Tuscaloosa tornado. It's the same tornado. You remember it walked through two 500 kV lines. You got two 500 lines coming from a nuclear power plant that come into the substation. And y'all remember when those lines were cut, we were out of town from south of Tupelo to just north of Meridian to this whole part of the world just went black. I mean, that's how important it is. And that's why these companies look at us to come here. And on the solar part, Mary, it's easier to just roll in prairie land and build solar than it is to do it in East Tennessee when they're on the side of the mountain. I'm telling you, we've seen a lot of solar, and I'm about done seeing solar. I'm pretty much getting my paint threshold, but there's still more to come. I think I believe that.
All right.
Well, thank y'all, and we will get with Mayor and Randy. If any of y'all that need anything, call us. And Randy, whatever you need at City Hall, just let us know. We'll be there, okay? Thank y'all.
So let me ask you before you leave, agenda item 11, I want to make sure that we don't need you for this. Do we need Joe Max for agenda item 11? Because it says that we need board approval to approve preparation of selecting orders for the public access to expressly enumerate data centers and public utilities.
That's that second document. There's two documents. One is setting the public hearing, and one is your item 11. And you should have, Chris, you get two documents, Chris.
I did get 2 documents from Chris. We have
And that would be subject to the list that's permitted uses. The property listed is, I-2 light industrial and clarify the rezoning of 91 acre parcel on Yokohama Boulevard from AO over to I-2 light industrial. Is everybody clear on what's that?
Do we need board action on that?
I think it is. I was specifically, Chris said they got two orders they need to approve.
Okay.
First one's public hearing, and the second one's the one the mayor's on right now.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the letter from Mr. Chris Pace concerning the intended use of the rezoning that is listed here from AG to I-2. And that the verbiage includes utility, substation, power generation, and the data center verbiage that it's asking us to include.
Second.
Motion properly second. Any discussion? All in favor, by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all. Have a good evening.
Agenda item 12, asking for board approval for a summer accounting internship for the water and light department. We touched on this briefly last night, and I'll just echo that sentiment with, we've hired a new accountant in our electric department, water and sewer accountant, electric accountant. Ms. Jalika Smith, she's doing an outstanding job. She's identified some areas that we can improve in as far as our coding and kind of cleaning up our accounting practices. And she's determined that her workload is about to pick up in order to stay on track and to stay on pace with our auditing firm, so we get the information to them so that we can in turn get timely audits. She's determined that she may need to entertain an intern for the summer. You have in your packets a letter along with an application and a resume of the person that she's proposing to be hired. I think the rate that she's proposing is $15 an hour. And this is a summer internship. Does it have a start and end date, Mr. Longstreet?
You can start, pretty much May 20th.
May 20th for 3 months after that. So this is a 3-month deal, and the questions that I asked last night about, are we good on that? For liability and all those things?
Yes, so, Mr. Mayor, I talked to Attorney Richmond this afternoon, and he suggested that we would go through our normal human resource employment process that would follow, and that would cover us as far as the city is an at-will employee for 3 months.
And you're satisfied that your budget supports this employee?
Yes, sir.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we hire Ms. Maddie Rushing as a part-time accounting person this summer. Start date at May 1.
Second.
There's a motion, second. Any discussion?
Do we need to put in the motion that she intern?
No.
Any more discussion? All in favor, by sign of voting aye. Opposed? So ordered. For agenda items 13, 14, 15, I now declare us officially in public hearing to discuss several pieces of property to be potentially deemed as blighted. First property, and this is done under the public nuisance section, code 211911. First property belonging to Ms. Viola Harris estate. The reference address is 9 Carver Street, parcel number 083. B as in Bravo 411, C as in Colonel 0340000, located here in West.
The mayor, board, as you see, the property address 9 Carter Street, along with Ms. Viola Harris estate. I went through the necessary steps and procedures that we normally go through with the better process. And And I'm here now to, get the board approval for, my project.
Any questions from the code enforcement?
Does the house need to be torn down?
Actually, the complaint came in about the yard.
Oh, okay.
Overgrown grass at the beginning. So it was some damage to the roof and exterior damage also. So, the following day, building inspector, Mr. Lonzo Riley, and, fire inspector Cody Parker went over and, tagged it as, uninhabited. Yeah, so, but I also just recently here last week spoke with representatives, and I told her to be present to the board meeting. I don't know if she's here or not, but, she made a statement that said that she didn't want to take that house torn down. But I told her she was gonna have to get the house into compliance. Otherwise the house is gonna be, declared blighted and possibly torn down if she didn't get it up to, code standard.
You know, I know we're vacant.
Actually, this house here came up last year. And there's been several complaints dealing with the yard. This last year was just only one time that they mowed the yard. And, the city had to go in once before and clear it up, so many complaints going through. So we're back at level where we were last year dealing with the property.
Any more questions for code enforcement Samuel? If not, is there anybody here representing the estate of Ms. Viola Harris? The estate of Ms. Viola Harris? The estate of Ms. Viola Harris? Being no one present, what do I hear? Besides crickets.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve that the property on Viola Harris Estate, address Carver Street, for sale 083B411C, declared a nuisance property, blighted property.
That's a motion.
Second.
Properly second. Any discussion? All in favor, by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Opposers? Motion carries. Second property in question, belongs to Mr. Eddie Westbrook and Aaron Branson on the estate of. Reference property is 54 West Mall Street, parcel number 082, A as in Alpha 410, A as in Alpha 0530100, located here in Westbrook.
Yes, here again, property, belongs to, Eddie Westbrook, Aaron Branson Estate, located on 54 West Monroe. This property here was made aware by the, building inspector also. The report came in, so we went through, necessary steps with the lettering process. And, also I spoke with the, owner of the property, which, I don't know if you see in the, pictures, I think it should be the pictures where this is beyond repair. Pretty much where when I talked with the, it was Ms. Aaron Branson. Yeah. It was Aaron Branson. So she's not living here in West Point. She's actually in Texas. So she made a statement saying that it's beyond repair. At this point in time, she has some financial things going on, but her property is beyond, like I said, it's beyond repair. Yeah, some of the neighbors been complaining on the property outside.
Any questions for code enforcement Samuel? Is there anyone here from, representing the estate of Eddie Westbrook for Mr. Aaron Branson? Estate of Mr. Eddie Westbrook for Aaron Branson. Estate of Mr. Eddie Westbrook for Aaron Branson. Being no one present, what is the pleasure of the board?
Mayor, I make a motion that we declare the property at 54 West Morrow Street, parcel 082, Alpha 410, Alpha 0530100, a public nuisance under section code 211911.
Second.
Motion, properly second, discussion. All in favor, by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And lastly, property belonging to Ms. Eloise Carter, reference address 34 West Morrow Street, parcel number 082, A as in Alpha, 410, A as in Alpha, 0640000, located here in Westminster.
All right. Here, this property here is listed, at 34 West Morrow, Miss Eloise Carter. And actually, she, this property comes about when I was across the street over at 34 West Morrow. And, once I seen the property was pretty much out of hand also. But she did, in fact, get the grass cut. So that was something she took care of. And as far as with the house, she said she wasn't gonna repair it nor anything else that needs to be done repair also. She spoke to me after the first letter, and that way I was being able to, forward the address to the address that it was going to the Georgia University, it was going to Texas at first. So after speaking with her, she also made a mention about financial issues. She wasn't going to be able to repair nor have take care of it at one time. But I told her, I said, it's going to be coming for the board. She's more than welcome to come for the board to plead her case.
Any questions for Mr. Samuel? Eloise Carter, Eloise Carter, Eloise Carter, not being present. What do I hear?
Mayor, I make a motion that we declare the property at 34 West Morrow Street, parcel number 082, Alpha 410, Alpha 0640000, a public nuisance under section code 211911.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And Selectman McBrady gets the award for the most motions made. Get your trophy. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, great job, Mr. Samuel, with all these properties. We see more and more properties that are uninhabitable, beyond repair, or at least owners who have no interest in repairing that. This is starting to get pretty long. Like many other cities, probably need to start tearing these down and condemnation proceedings or doing other things to make sure that they're taken care of. As Mr. Samuel points out, cut grass and do other things, but our major problem is these homes that are uninhabitable and present a danger to citizens, children, all sorts of other things, but the list is getting incredibly long. And so we're gonna have to start cleaning up these neighborhoods by figuring out a way to raise these properties, take them down in a way that takes care of due process concerns. And where the city's not the holding the bag, where we can help that. But at some point, we're gonna have to, Mr. Riley, go ahead and take some additional steps and get rid of these properties.
I slowed down.
Well, you guys are doing a great job. It's just that, you know, we have Cherry Club, other properties, they got to go.
If I can say that, for the most part, there's a lot more property, and maybe in some way we can make the incentive for more duplexes or house builders to come in. Maybe that would incentive would put forth the effort when they go down, something else will come up. More housing, more jobs.
we can schedule a meeting and look at the properties that the board has determined are blighted, not just the maintenance of the yards, but the actual structure is uninhabitable, there's no interest in it. And then we have to see how invested the city's going to be, because it costs us money, time, personnel to deal with those. And then maybe assessed as taxes for, the owners have no interest in that, so what happens then? But we need to figure out how to, I'm starting, 2 houses across the street on East Wall Street, both there, that situation, so they're not fair to the community to have those. Let's get rid of them.
Actually, it's for that.
Gotcha. And it's hard to make the L too, we talk about it. Little training.
I have one on Griffin Street that you can start with. I've been trying to get that one on the ground for a long time. We'll talk about getting over Griffin Street and turn that one into a slab.
Well, we'll give a little homework assignment then, if I may, to each respective select person. Can y'all put together that list of the ones that we think blighted so far, John?
Yeah, I got all of this, and not on that, House Bill 733, which I just happened to start, familiar with grants out there, with, municipalities have to go out and tear that on, or whatever, I think the cost for the grants kind of helps out with the cost, which will fall back on the city. So I'm reading a little bit more into it, and I spoke to Mr. Sherman Brothers, so we're gonna get that together and try to figure out some type of way where the city pays along.
So let's keep some heat under that conversation, and I do want involvement from the council, so that we're not doing something that goes against the will of what you want to see for your respective board. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead and grade mine, Mr. Mayor, because I got ready.
All right, agenda item 16, asking for board approval for travel. Accreditation manager, Ms. Queenie Deans, to attend summer training workshop June 17th and 20th in Biloxi.
I make a motion to approve the travel accreditation and
Second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor, by sign of voting aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 17, asking for board approval for travel for the mayor and the board of selectmen to attend the 94th Mississippi Municipal League Annual Conference, dates July 21st through 23rd in Biloxi.
That's why I'd like to make that motion that we approve travel for the mayor and board selected to attend the 94th annual conference, July 21st to 23rd in Biloxi.
second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor, by sign of voting aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 18, asking for approval for travel for the following people: utility manager Eddie Longstreet, code enforcement Johnny Samuel, chief wastewater operator Sean Dawes, public works director Chris Cox, assistant director Darius Brown, assistant chief Michael Edwards, city clerk Dolores Dawes, and CFO Natasha Rose. Also, court clerk Carla Golden and purchasing clerk Mary Wright, to all attend the 94th Mississippi Municipal League Annual Conference, July 21st and 23rd.
Mr. Mayor, I think I must have been left off.
We don't want to insult you and have you come to something so low budget.
I'll run City Hall, but y'all come there.
What do I hear?
So, Mr. Mayor, do you need everybody now, or we do a group vote?
We don't have to do this.
So moved.
Second. Move proper second, discussion. All in favor, by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 19, asking for board approval for travel for fireman Gabriel Harpo to attend the rope awareness and operations class June 23rd to 26th in Pearl.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve Fireman Gabriel Hoffman to attend the Brook Awareness Operation class.
Second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 20, board approval, asking for board approval for travel. Chief Water Operator Lawrence White to attend the Mississippi Rural Water Association Incorporated 2025 Annual Conference, May 27th through 30th in Biloxi.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve travel for Chief Water Operator Lawrence White to attend the Rural Water Association.
Second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 21, asking for board approval for travel for narcotics officer Reginald Adams to attend a surveillance and drug enforcement class May 20 to 23rd in Pearl, Mississippi.
Second.
Motion properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I know that seemed like a lot, but it was a lot of travel that was approved. Just for the general knowledge of the public, I have always been and will always be an advocate for continuing education and training, as I think that's what all progressive entities do. You have to get your people trained because times are changing, methodology is changing, procedures are changing, and if you never send your people to go get educated on those changes, then you find yourself stuck with doing things the way we've always done them, and that's not always the most prudent course of action. So if it's within budgetary constraints, and it doesn't put any of our operations in jeopardy of being run, I'll be an advocate for training every single time because I know it's effective. And I know there's a lot of great information being divulged at these conferences. And to take it a step further, once we go to this training, everybody that attends will be expected to debrief when we get back. Because we want to see, what you learned when you went, and what do you plan on bringing back and doing differently within your respective departments. So yes, it was a lot of travel approved. Are we well within our budget as far as spending to provide that such travel? Yes, we are. That's it. Just wanted to give that comment because I know sometimes inquiring minds want to know. Agenda item 22, we're moving to department head reports, starting with Mr. Riley. Any questions for Mr. Riley?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Longstreet.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. In your package, you have a letter of resignation from Todd Smith, who's resigning as an apprentice lineman in your package, effective April 30th.
Make a motion to accept the letter of resignation.
Moved proper second, we accept the resignation letter of Todd Smith. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next, Mayor and Board, you have a recommendation personal status form for Elijah Halbert, apprentice lineman who has proven his knowledge and skill as a lineman, has taken initiative and leadership without having been told in the absence of senior staff on a daily basis, recommending that he be brought up to the amount that the apprentice has been hired since he was in Fort Worth.
There's a recommendation on the table. Is there a motion?
Motion to accept Longstreet's recommendation.
Second.
Motion proper second in discussion. All in favor, by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have now, that's another questions.
Any questions for Mr. Longstreet and Water and Light?
Has everyone returned back to duty? Has everyone that was on the line for it, that was all you had, they returned to work?
Yes, Samuel Chief returned, Monday. So everybody else has returned, and of course we hired, Tyler, is coming in, so we got everybody down, we're 6 now. Darryl, Samuel, Elijah, Nolan, Brady, and Tyler.
So we have 6 certified linemen on staff.
2 journeyman linemen will be Darryl and Sam, and then the others apprentice linemen, 1, 2, 3. And we've also said in the preparation for the coming fiscal year, those who will be going, and we will not send them all at the same time for classes.
Thank you, sir.
Devon's time that ran up and.
Yes, his time is up.
When is he willing to come back after his allotted time starts back over?
If we need to, we certainly will be.
Okay.
So are we looking for a replacement of the guy that resigned?
We have a recommendation, but he withdrew.
Okay.
But we are, and we're continually advertising for a journey line with experience.
You know my skill on that, let's just keep our pipeline full. Never go wrong with that, if somebody abruptly leaves and you're not scrambling trying to figure out, who to hire from. We already got a ready-made pool, so.
Certainly, say that we appreciate your support, Selectman McBride, Selectwoman Turner on the Utility Committee, and Selectman Poole on the Finance Committee, and the Mayor and Randy for supporting us, getting beyond this hump that we were in when we didn't have but 2 people that was there on the bond, and then we brought in these apprentice linemen. They're working out real good. The one that you just accepted, the recommendation, he is really going strong. He and Nolan are our lead in the absence. Now Sam is back. Sam is number 2 behind Darryl, and next would be Elijah and Nolan. And last gentleman we hired, Tyler, he's got hot work. He's done phase 1 and 2 work. We put him to the test, and he's living up to what he said he was able to do. And so we were called out to assist additional amps for the Contra Street Festival, and they were Johnny on the spot. Anytime we have any major conditions that our guys within 30 minutes or less, they're on site here, ready to take care of whatever we need. So we'll prepare a senior with a junior, and they're doing real well in response time and on call.
All I would say to that is this West Point, man, we bend, but we do not break.
Amen. Thank you for your support.
It is, one more question. What we at with the line cutting crew? What percentage of the city we have done?
They're 2/3 away. They've been on East Street, George Street this week. They're 2/3 away, and they're continuing in that line crew. And when there are individuals who have some problems, they call and we get with them and they can take care of it. If any of the selectmen have any problems with that, or you contacted me, Selectman Binder, with ceasefire coming back, they have come and put sod in other areas, but if you're having some problems, we still have them on the hook, and we're waiting, Selectman Putin to get back with Agnes on those streets areas that we talked about. I've sent them that letter. They told us to give them a little extra time. I would say that oftentimes we get calls about lines. Every line down is not an electric line. Some of them are AT&T telephone, Comcast lines. And I do want to report to the mayor and the board, especially Attorney Richard, we have got a $15,000 check back from Comcast, but that's not all of yours. But we did get that in the mail today. Selectman McBride, $15,000 from Comcast from the $81,000. And we're getting ready in the fall to bill all 4 those who have pole attachments. And that pole attachment fee is set by TVA, and TVA made us aware of that last Tuesday, and that they have to comply. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Chief Wilson, other than what's in my report, I haven't had anything here. Y'all have any questions? Thank you. Mr. Cox?
I should have another, resolution to effect April 15th, 2025,
Jason Hall? Jesse Hall.
Cuckoo.
Just say Cook.
AKA.
As a recommendation. Oh, as a reservation. I'm sorry.
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the letter of resignation. Richard Hall.
Proper second discussion. All in favor, by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any questions from Public Works?
Thank you, Chris.
All right. My public, thank you to all departments. I don't want to start individually naming, but all departments played a role in making sure that the festival this weekend was a success and making sure that our folks kept safe. I really do appreciate it. PD, Johnny on the spot, fire department, Johnny on the spot, public works, Johnny on the spot. Mr. Longstreet just spoke to the fact that we had an electrical issue and the guy came out and resolved that. Just everybody that was a part of that, I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate you stepping up and doing that. Everybody that attended felt super safe. We had the metal detectors tour not here. He provided made available metal detectors that made people feel safe. And then there was an overwhelming law enforcement presence out there. And I think that made a world of difference. Not that we were expecting anything to happen, but you know, it's just always good to have a touring there when you have large gatherings because there's no way to anticipate what's on each individual's mind. So I think that made a world of difference, and I did want to publicly acknowledge and thank you guys for that. PD, Assistant Chief Elder.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, Ms. Jones, and City Attorney, Richardson. Just have a couple of things. The PD is asking for board approval to hire 2 officers. First applicant is Joshua David Burkfield. Second applicant is Jacob Williams Anderson.
We'll take them one at a time. Recommendation to hire Joshua Burkfield. He's full-time or part-time?
He's a full-time certified.
What do I hear?
Motion that we, accept the city's recommendation to hire Joshua Burchfield.
Second.
Move properly second. Any discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Second item.
Jacob Williams Anderson.
Make the motion that we accept the recommendation to hire Jacob William Anderson.
Second.
Move properly second. Discussion? All in favor by sign of vote aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Yes, sir. The last thing I have is a letter from Assistant Chief Avery Cook. He's sending his letter of retirement. Effective date is
June 30th.
So if we don't accept it, then he don't.
We'll have to ask him that.
That doesn't require any board action, just point of information. Any questions for the PD?
So, AC, how you staff, you got full staff?
We're not full, we're up to 29, I think we got a lot at 37. But with these 3, we hired, with these 2, we hired, and one in the academy, that'll put us at 30.
Okay. Thank you.
Get there.
Any more questions for the police department? Not, thank you, sir. Thank you. Park and Rec, Mr. Jerry?
Yes, I feel like we've overlooked Park and Rec's contribution to Cox Street, the bleachers we provide.
That's why I hate it, that's why I hate it. Look, special thank you to the Park and Rec for bringing out bleachers. So it ain't coming to pick you up. You can do it every year, man. My apologies.
I realize I'm 18, I realize y'all doing the unattended in West Point, July 21st to 23rd.
We got, the general will be here.
I mean, you wanna go with us?
Do what?
You wanna
Well, I
go?
looked at it, in the past, the rail doesn't really have a strong recreational
Right.
thing. I looked into it.
Yeah.
It's also interfered with the World Series. But I also want to let y'all know that I get in touch with Scott Martin, head of the turf specialty at Mississippi State, to come look at our fields.
Turf.
Well, they consider everything, turf, playing surfaces, dirt, grass, everything, but just, agricultural turf, and he's going to look at our fields to see, you know, since turf's kind of out of our budget, as far as leveling the fields with dirt so water runs off, because all this rain and rain outs, that would be something that we could do, that'd be obviously more affordable than turfing fields would be to place a leveling, you know, get the water just running. And he said also he could provide some information on the trees in Marshall Park and what's going on.
So you'll bring us some feedback, which, any questions for Park and Rec? Was that it?
My goal is, I still believe we can get some turf field. There's a wheel there for well. Everybody up there.
Yep. You know, he does something.
What?
It doesn't have to be all as well.
That's what I'm saying, we need 2 or 3 turf fields.
You know, some ask me, how would you choose? And I say, it's a good question, it's an easy answer. We would do fields 1 through 4, which are the biggest fields, because you can always put a temporary fence up. And then it would also give us the unique ability to say, we have something to start with, and a $26 million complex. We've got high school size fields. They don't, their biggest fields are big. So we could host, so the West Point going to Stuba, play a district game for right now. They can come here, and we could get some skill over from Crossroad. I talked to Mike Arnold, you know, he looks for fields, we get skill to start open. We'd obviously be close.
Is there grass out there? No,
One thing that I will say, we had Mr. Higgins here earlier to enlighten us on some development on the economic development front. We keep doing that. They don't come here and build factories and build all this stuff without a taxation piece. Taxation piece is what grows our revenues from a city perspective. So we keep doing that, keep adding, and keep bringing jobs to this area. I'm certain that one day we'll be sitting up here approving expenditures to get you some turf.
I'm glad March, you want somebody to have a good job in West Point, live in Stark, you want them to do West Point, so that would be another, you know, reason to have good parks, that extra incentive to move here, and, you know,
These always have other resources. Any more questions for Parker? Mr. Jones?
First thing I got, one hire, we have the secretary Charles Clemens. He comes to us with experience in Park Creek. He's available to come to work immediately. Well, President on, like I hired, available to come to work, we're going to come and pay like 17.25.
Mr. Terrence Clemens. May I make a motion to accept the recommendation from CEO Mr. Jones to hire Mr. Terrence Clemens as a wastewater treatment operator?
Second.
Move proper second, discussion. All in favor by sign of vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Make it item a little quicker to handle, got a resignation from Randall Atkins, wastewater treatment.
Is there a motion to accept the resignation?
So moved.
Second.
Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of voting aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
And just to let you know what's going on, we hosted consolidated fight this morning, working.
Mr. Jones.
Some type of resolution with our leaders and building issues. Get something resolved.
Go to the mic, Mr. Jones.
Take a little closer to you, it's hard here.
Anyway, we hosted a consolidated fight. And we got a plan to try to come up with a resolution of our meters, billing issues. Clayton was so long, it's been so expensive. Hopefully it'll end up saving us a lot of money. Also got the holiday coming up on May 26th, which is Memorial Day. We typically here in the city celebrate Memorial Day on the actual day of its inception, which is May 30th. There will be a program. It'll either be here or upstairs at City Hall at noon on May 30th, Friday. Hope you can all plan that. So far, I've got the list completed, but of almost 1,900 names of veterans who have served honorably and since passed away or were killed in combat. We've got 31 names ahead of the list just for this past year. And I expect probably another half a dozen or so by the last funeral home and service records.
Do you know what time?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
And I'll send each one out in a program email.
Mr. Jones, there's an update on the city hall renovation.
They're almost done. Almost right across my fingers. Furniture is all up right now, delivering furniture. If we get that, we may be able to have a Memorial Day program. It's a good PR thing. You know, not just for Memorial Day. But if not, we'll have it here. Just a reminder, I'm going to be on vacation 19th through the 23rd. One for vacation to go to my grandson's graduation in Texas. Spend a little family time. And, I'll be back anytime in Kentucky program. I'll be back 22nd.
Any questions for Jones? Thank you, sir. And before we entertain a motion to close the meeting and determine the need for executive session, which I think that there is, I would be remiss if I did not recognize, and I apologize, sir, as you did at the beginning of the meeting, selecting elect Terrell Harris, selecting elected Ward 1. You'll stand, sir. Just wanted to. All right, I entertain a motion to adjourn to determine the need for executive session. So moved. Moved properly second, discussion. All in favor by sign of voting aye. Opposed? Order.